My name is Gayle Horwitz, and I was in the class of 1998. My greatest accomplishment since I graduated was, of course, having my 2 kids, because any job that is 24/7 with 0 pay is going to be the hardest job. But professionally, my greatest accomplishment is working for the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights, where I've worked for many years. I've worked on many cases that have to do with protecting students from discrimination on the basis of race, sex, and disability. And most recently, I've been a policy writer working on new regulations that will affect millions of students and educators across the country, and that has been super rewarding. I'd say my most lasting impression of Beachwood High School was participating in a lot of extracurricular activities. I was in band, JCWA, drama club. I was class president, and I was also the editor-in-chief of the Beachcomber. So I kind of just went for it and loved being a part of all those groups. I feel like being a part of extracurricular activities, whether you're a leader or you're just starting out in them, it's such a great and very realistic way to learn. You will learn more about yourself, more about other people, and about all the things that inspire you, so that as you grow up, you'll know what to look for so that you can have a really meaningful and interesting life. When I was writing for the Beachcomber, something that meant a lot to me was writing my column, which was called Wit's End, which I thought was really creatively named after my own last name. And one thing I remember writing about that actually connects to my current life is that I observed that the high school football team, no surprise, was getting lots of hoopla and fanfare. And I think in this particular year was like 0-12. And then we had a female team that actually went to the state championships for track. And I remember writing about that in my column and questioning why they didn't get as much fanfare when it seemed like they really deserved every bit as much as the football team. It's interesting now because my whole career is about civil rights and women's rights, and as I reflect on it, I don't think I've really changed that much in my interests. Things that were appealing to me way back when are still really relevant to me, and I think that was a great example of looking around, spotting something in our world that really spoke to me, and then using the Beachcomber as an outlet to sort of share my thoughts, my concerns, and help people see things a little bit differently. I had a great high school experience, so it is kind of hard to pick one thing that I truly would want to be different. But something I've thought about is that, I probably could have pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. I tended to gravitate, like a lot of people, to things that sort of suited me, or I didn't think would be all that hard once I got the general gist of it. But there are plenty of things that I would not have done well in initially at all, especially sports, which I never even stepped one foot in. And now that I have 2 little boys who are completely obsessed with sports, I see a lot of the benefit and how, how much it means to them and how many really great lessons they learn. And I sometimes think, I could have tried that. And I wonder how it would have been and how my life might have changed. The advice that I would give to any student is just to use these years and years ahead in college to think very seriously about what speaks to them. I think life is just way too short to waste on something that isn't getting us excited to get out of bed every morning. If you can find something that really makes you feel hopeful, inspired, or really connecting with other people, in my experience, that is a great recipe for happiness and for wanting to keep going. I would tell them, just don't waste your time on things that are not interesting, not fulfilling, and not making the world a better place, because you're very precious, you're very talented, and the world really needs you. I grew up in a time when we did not have social media. You did not know what everyone was saying about you. You just had to sort of think it and wonder about it in your own head. But that said, I also think that today's students are growing up at a time when there seems to be much better language around feeling good about who you truly are, feeling good about what your body looks like, what you can do, what your mind can do, in a way that I don't think was really being discussed when I was growing up. I mean, it was probably just at the beginning edge of that. So I hope that today's female students, but all students, are coming out of BHS just feeling really positive about themselves, about what they can contribute, and especially about lessons they've learned about working with others toward those goals. Because if there's one thing I really have learned, all of life is a group project. When I was growing up, I don't think I really appreciated that angle on it. Group projects were sort of one in a million around here at school. But in the real world, everything is working together. So the quicker you can figure out how to do it, how to appreciate it, and how to sort of play every role in whatever group you're assigned, leader, helper, encourager, I really think the better everyone will be in achieving whatever their personal dreams are.